Hi everyone, Paul Cardin here of the Wirral and It Together blog. We're going to start this video by giving you an update to a blog post which was added on Wirral and It Together on the 28th of June this year. That's yesterday. The title of the blog post is "The new chairman of Spirit of Shankly is former Wirral Super Director Joe Blott. Let's take a closer look." There's a link to it in the description box below. 3 days ago, when Chelsea beat Manchester City 2-1, Liverpool became English top-level champions for the first time in 30 years. This hadn't happened since the days of the Football League First Division in season 1989-90. But how have Joe Blott's Spirit of Shankly Supporters Union marked the occasion? By saying nothing. We're not joking. There is absolutely nothing about Liverpool being Premier League champions on the Spirit of Shankly website, Chairman Joe Blott, as of today, 29th of June 2020. Check it out here at www.spiritofshankly.com. Then ask yourself, would Bill Shankly have approved of this? Now keep watching. Okay, did Joe Blott ever provide value for money? Joe's bumper Wirral Council payoff of £390,176.03 was agreed by a committee of cross-party councillors. They always rubber stamp these things, despite the fact that this huge payoff dwarfed all other six-figure payoffs in the long and colourful history of Wirral Council. And in an effort to downplay the obscene amount of cash, Joe Blott tweeted his response to me and appears to have convinced himself he was worth it. The tweet reads as follows: "I wasn't gagged as it was their early retirement scheme. I received the same terms as any other employee leaving under that scheme." So that was Joe Blott in a tweet sent on July the 7th, 2019. It's not known what Mr. Blott's successive golden goodbyes amounted to at Knowsley, Wigan, Liverpool and Warrington councils, but this being Wirral, we have firm grounds not to take on trust Joe Blott's tweeted assurance that Wirral Council didn't gag him. There's a lot more on settlement agreements, non-disclosure agreements, gags and buying people's silence in a link below this video where I was interviewed by Hereford and Worcester Radio recently. So, leaving via an early retirement scheme does not in itself vouchsafe to the watching public that their servant is immune from being clobbered with a settlement agreement, which itself may contain a protective gagging clause, which is a ploy done to muzzle both the individual signatory and the issuing body. So that's how sordid activity of any kind is concealed. Remember when disabled abuser Maura Noon left Wirral Council gagged, and what happened next? See the link below. Remember when disabled abuser Mike Fowler left Wirral Council gagged, and what happened next? Again, see the link below. We'll be placing an FOI request with Wirral Council in an attempt to shine some more light. But we're not really holding out much hope because Tony Blair's hopeless freedom of information rights have proved in the past to be pretty hopeless and to provide no guarantee of a successful outcome. Okay, let's turn to Spirit of Shankly. This is known as the country's first football supporters union, and I believe it's the largest. As far as we know, Mr. Blott is now chairing this, the largest group of unofficial Liverpool supporters. The main purpose of this blog post is to highlight some of the more recent work history of Joe Blott and to bring this to the attention of the many thousands of Spirit of Shankly members. If any members are watching this, please follow all the contained links below this video. Then take time to ask yourselves a few probing questions. For example, number 1. Whose interests is Joe Blott likely to be acting in? Number 2. In light of the factual information laid out here, how much of our trust can we continue to place in him? And 3. Did Reds fans get their man, or did the board of Liverpool Football Club get their man? That's probably the most important question. Next on the agenda is a very brief mention of the Alison Mountney whistleblowing court case. This case, Wirral Metropolitan Borough Council versus Mrs A. Mountney, started on the 30th of January 2017 and lasted a period of 10 days. Mrs. Mountney was unsuccessful in her claim. I attended on the first 2 days and have reason to believe that the main respondent, the council's former monitoring officer Sergit Tor, despite taking a solemn oath on the Holy Bible, ought not to have been relied upon so heavily by the judge to provide true and accurate testimony. That's our opinion, my opinion, based on research and an intensely strong gut feeling about it. The fact that the council leader at the time, Councillor Phil Davis, was a proven and unrepentant liar, see the 6 links below, and that these council underlings were taking orders from him, lends further credence to our belief that Sergit Tor's fellow respondent witnesses, through a dubious and unreliable sense of corporate loyalty to their leader, may have been obediently supporting Mr. Tor, even in the event that he may have been dishonest to the judge. Here's a list of those council witnesses for the 10-day case. Kate Robinson, Tony Williams, Fiona Johnston, Claire Fish, Chris Hyams, Leslie Hales, and finally Joe Blott. For further context here, in the description box below are links to the following 7 excellent Wirral Leaks posts. Number 1, a blot on the Wirral political landscape. Quote, Joe Blott, a managing director for delivery at Wirral Council, pocketed £569,423. Number 2, the 12 days of Christmas, day 11, the Otto Blott incident. Quote, senior Wirral manager dismissed for gross misconduct for email about Joe Blott. Number 3, spot the Blott. Quote, Blott will forever be known by us for his infamous quote, no comment. Number 4, a blot on the lorries. Quote, by the time this reaches the local government ombudsman, he'll be long gone. Number 5, Advent Farewell 21, Blott's Christmas bonus. Quote, Blott knows where all the bodies are buried, and what's more, he helped bury them. Number 6, Blotto, question mark. Quote, Joe Blott, printed in quotes, emails Wirral Leaks. Quote, get the facts right before spouting off about how Wirral does business. You can write all you like on here about past and present employees, but take a second to think about how much harm this does to the families of these people and how this may impact them, about distasteful comments, about how people go about making a living. Too many abouts there. Your blog is a joke and you hide behind your keyboard due to the fact you probably haven't got a real job, and you vent your frustrations out due to being turned down for a role here at Wirral. The implication there being working at Wirral is a real job. Number 7, Blott's pension pot. Quote, Joe topping up his pension pot and forging a new career in property development. Note, Wirral Leaks is a fully anonymous, politically impartial and highly respected social media blog which has provided long-standing support to the people of Wirral by shining a searching spotlight into some very dark corners, seeking out the long-standing corrupted workings of Wirral Council, whatever the colour of the crooked current administration. This has brought a small measure of accountability where there has been none otherwise, and his lordship and her ladyship have achieved some wonderful results consistently over many years. Hearing about who Joe Blott chose to associate himself with will be a real eye-opener for any Spirit of Shankly members watching this. One of his former collaborators at Wirral Council was Frank Field MP, who hooked up with the Sun newspaper on the very same day the second Hillsborough inquest started in Warrington. There's a link below providing more details. The post referred to is entitled, "Despite 25 years of pain and injustice, which Merseyside MP is backing the Sun?" Yes, you did hear that correctly. Joe Blott's last council employer, right-wing Labour Wirral, worked very closely with Frank Field MP, who from time to time writes for the Sun, an excrement-smeared rag of a newspaper, despite losing 7 of his Birkenhead constituents at Hillsborough. We know this, and accordingly we sent a tweet to Mr. Blott around a year ago on the 7th of July 2019, asking him, as newly installed Spirit of Shankly chairman, to retweet it on to Spirit of Shankly Reds fans on Twitter. But what do you know? Despite further reminders, Joe appears to have fallen silent, so we sent him another prompt today. We will continue to request support and retweets until he forgets his historical ties to the Sun's Frank Field MP and begins to take his Spirit of Shankly chairman's responsibilities seriously. So a year later, there's still no evidence that new chair of Spirit of Shankly, Joe Blott, has retweeted this disgusting behaviour by Frank Field. I wonder whether Joe Blott's historically close working ties to Frank Field are getting in the way of any supposed loyalty to his fellow Liverpool fans. Here's a photo of Joe and Frank in Birkenhead working together, and this was taken a long time after Frank Field started posting his toxic copy to the Murdoch rag. Sorry, there's 2 photos, and they're both courtesy of John Brace. Thanks a lot for that, John. The fellow sitting to Mr. Blott's hard right in the above photograph is unrepentant liar Phil Davis, who is a liar and Wirral Council's former leader. We should add that he is a liar and we possess copious evidence of his lies. Liar Mr. Davis is very welcome to mount a hideously misconceived, doomed at the outset libel case against us. There's been no answer to this tweet either, which I sent to Joe Blott about a year ago. Joe, how about meeting up for a coffee or a pint when you're free? Paul, Wirral in it together, July the 7th, 2019. Still no answer to that. Okay, thanks everyone, that's it for now. Watch our YouTube channel, Paul Cardin, Wirral in it together, for more videos coming soon. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. To round this presentation off, I'd just like to say, #don't, and I'll see you soon. Take care.